Welcome to Political Pulse Live, the internet's #1 source for tackling social issues, interviews with local officials, and political information that matters most to your local community. Back in her series finale is Barbara Kramer, wrapping it up by just making it make sense in the city of North Miami Beach.
Try to understand. I think my husband also, he comes to me and he asks me these questions too, right? He's like, why do you like this? Like, for example, like, why do you think, we should have constitutional carry, right, for guns? And I said, because like, like the defend myself part is like the minor part, right? Because like on a daily basis, we're not going to run into something like that. But I mean, it's always good to have. But I mean, the most important thing is like to have a tyrannical government that we can fight back against. And luckily, during the time that he asked me was a time that Cuba had changed their leader and they were doing this, they were doing massive, unrest and protests in Cuba, and they were being shut down. So I said, look at that. They are grabbing trees and, like, I don't know, all kinds of things that can't do anything against the government. And if we ever end up with a tyrannical government, we want to know that we can fight back and protect our rights.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's what I told him. And like, he was like, oh, okay, because he doesn't really like guns. When we went and bought ours, right, during the pandemic, because I was like, okay, we're freaking out here. And they were talking about putting a ban on new purchases and whatnot. So I said, I'd rather go get it now before something comes out. And he was like, I don't like having a gun in the house. And it's like, there's a whole myth around it, right? Like you can accidentally shoot yourself and, stuff like that.
And he has every right to feel that way,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So, I explained to him like the new guns have all kinds of safeties and, you can't just accidentally drop a gun and have it fire and shoot you. So, I mean, we're getting newer versions of the guns, etc. And so, I mean, just stuff like that. Like sometimes like people really don't understand. It's just that they have an initial feeling about something and then they just go with it. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like a lot of people just have an initial feeling about what they see on the news with Trump and the way he talks. And then all of a sudden, like everything's.
And I always use him as an example because he's been the most, controversial and the most, and I understand people. I know how I was brought up. Not everyone was brought up like me. Like I could handle his rhetoric because my dad was just off the chain and off the charts in a good way, though. My dad was like me, honest, but told it as it was. And you didn't mess with my dad. You just didn't mess with him. In fact, my dad was the one that always said to me, never give up your right to bear arms, bear arms or whatever there was a saying. But, and I my dad was not, a gun carrying guy. He had guns. He didn't have a permit or anything, but he, but I was brought up like without this, I don't know what that, the nuclear family, it wasn't Leave It to Beaver at my house, it was nowhere near that. So I was able to handle, all kinds of conversations, all kinds of loud talking, certain words, are not said in certain people's houses. So I can see how Trump is a disruptor to a lot of people. And they just look at him like he's just unhinged and uncouth and all of that, and I do appreciate people seeing that. I can't undo that for them because they weren't brought up like me. So I do respect certain things. What I don't respect is when they look down even or look at me with their eyes crossed, because I'm like, well, that kind of talk, does it bother me that a president talks like that? I mean, it's really not cool, but he didn't really like so offend me, except that he's the president saying that stuff. You know what I mean? But if he was just a regular person, whatever. I mean, I can handle it.
But, people are very stuck on being presidential.
Yeah,
sorry.
I get it.
Go ahead,
but the other side of that is, do they want Biden who can't put two words together? They're not offended by that?
Right. Well, it's funny. So people in my house, right. I mean, they make fun of Biden all the time, but see, being me who I am, and I'll say, but he's older, and okay, so he messed up somewhere, because, look, I get it, but they don't see it that way. So it's hard to get into these really deep conversations because I'm so in the middle. I see both sides. And I know, when you have to vote, you got to make up that decision. But when I'm in conversations with people, I just like to listen and I like to have a good conversation. And I certainly don't want people to say I'm crazy. And I would never tell someone else they're crazy unless they really say something off the charts, and then I will have to hand it to them.
That's just transparency at that point. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really a shame that people can't be that transparent, but I always say, people know who I am. I don't change my stripes at all. What you see is what you get at all times, whether I'm a commissioner or not a commissioner, a business person, a parent, a child, daughter, a sibling, a friend. This is who I am. So some people, they don't know how to be so honest. It's weird, but it's okay. We're all different.
Hurting people's feelings now.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, and it depends what you're saying.
Well,
right.
The truth hurts, so it's
inherent. That's true.
Yeah. Wait, I want to dig in a little bit. Like, do you guys have any questions? No.
No, listen, she's so transparent, you don't have to ask any. So,
I know, right?
I'm sorry. I hope I'm not boring you.
No, I love it. And I was going to say, what was the incident that triggered you to create that whole, the whole wake up and be thing? Like,
that people weren't waking up, that I could not believe this particular colleague of mine was going to get away with everything she's doing, that people were getting free turkeys or, $150 gift cards, believing that it was all her doing it, watching my manager support this and make it a whole campaign stunt. I was startled by what has happened in our city, startled by the administration, startled by my colleagues getting away with so much. I couldn't believe it. And that's kind of, I guess, my passion for truth,
So it was built up, like
it was built
little by
up,
little, or was it like one incident where you went like, wait a minute, this can't happen?
No,
and, like, so you went out.
What happened was, like, a year ago, a year before the election, I tried to get people together. This wasn't the Wake Up NMB. There was really no name. Just to try to form an organization to get people involved, to find a candidate, first of all, that would run against her. Right? Because people don't like to run against incumbents. People are afraid if they're, she happens to be a Haitian woman. People are afraid to, if you're white, running against a Haitian person. Haitian, residents are afraid to run against other Haitian residents. Some are, some aren't. I mean, it's really a clusterfluff, right? So, I thought maybe through all of this, I can also, try to scope out, some candidates. And we had quite a few meetings. There was not quite a few, maybe four. There was about 11 people. We met at people's homes. It was still kind of during COVID. But nothing, if I didn't email everyone and say, okay, we're having a meeting next week, each month, nobody picked up the phone. Nobody emailed me. I would email. I wouldn't get emails back. People were interested, but not that interested. But as things started clearly coming, to focus of what was happening in our city, and we started to get we found candidates. And then I saw people are just asleep at the wheel, and it was going to be a lot of hard work going door to door in a very short amount of time when these candidates came about. I just was like, man, these people have got to, I kept saying, wake up. I was using that on Facebook. And I just started to put a sun, and I just kept saying, wake up NMB. It just became a hashtag. Cause that's like, it's like, hello, again, wake up. You're like sleeping. What the hell's wrong with these people? Yeah. And so that's
you'd say people were being resigned, or, I mean, were they just like really not informed, or just, they just didn't care?
They just weren't that informed. So what I said to everyone on the Next Door group is that, look, I'm not going to be here to tell you all I'm not going to be social media for the city. If you want to know the events, I said there's great stuff going on in the city. There's great events. There's a lot of education provided. There's a lot of fun. you can go to the Facebook page of the city or go to the website and you can get all that information. I'm going to give you the information they're not going to give you. Okay, so it is going to be negative. It is going to be bad because I need you to wake up and see what the hell's going on in the city and why you can't vote for the incumbent. You know, and because a lot of people were really taken by her. She's, just super like, she comes off as being like almost like motherly, and but she was spending and going on trips and spending crazy amounts of money and using our a sergeant at arms. We never had a sergeant at arms in our city. We're 5 square miles. I mean, we're a big little city, North Miami Beach. We're 5 square miles. We have about 43,000 residents. But 5 square miles is nothing, right? So, but we have, big police department. We have a CRA, Community Redevelopment Agency. We have huge commercial area. We have a lot of development, and we have a utility. So there's a lot going on here, and a lot of money that can be taken too, right? A lot of money to be made. But anyway, they were going on all these trips, and trips, tons of trips, just
Like
wherever,
what kind of trips?
Elon Musk was thinking of tunneling, doing that the Boring Company, they were going to go, look for areas to put a tunnel underground, like in Miami. I don't know how that gets done, but I'm not, right. So they all went to Las Vegas because he invited, the group, the company invited whoever wanted to go could go to Las Vegas and see a model of this. Well, can't you just look at it in the computer? And are we really going to do this? And why would we do this? And, but they went to Las Vegas. So my colleague that is now out of office spent thousands upon thousands of dollars and stayed at the Bellagio. This was an overnight thing. If you wanted to really go see this, you go, you see, you leave. Oh, no. Right. She spent like 5 nights there, and she was in a suite, and she brought an aide with her. She had a sergeant at arms taking her everywhere, cost us thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. We have endless video of it. I'm telling you guys, go onto this blog. You will freak out. You just won't believe it. And you also will be so envious that your community doesn't have a blogger like this.
No, I know. I mean, she makes my job easier.
She's hysterical.
A show just about North Miami Beach.
Right. She writes about North Miami. She was writing a lot about North Miami for a long time, because what happened was all the crazy that went on in North Miami now came to North Miami Beach. All the,
didn't the team come over? The production team.
The production team. Yeah. Everyone. It's crazy. So there's, honestly, if you read that blog, you will get all the information you need. You will be shocked. So it's good to have that as backup to show to show the constituents. And, I'm very, there's a lot of, we have to be careful because 4 of the colleagues that are up to no good happen to be of Haitian descent. And what was happening was they were trying to now say, oh, well, we had one colleague, one candidate compare the white candidates to the Haitian candidates, and he was comparing it to Port-au-Prince versus Tel Aviv, because the white candidates happen to be Jewish as well, but they're not Israeli, so we weren't sure where this Tel Aviv was coming from. But this is the stuff they were doing. I mean, Glenna Milberg has the video of them actually saying these horrendous things on air. So, but as a white person, I don't want my Haitian residents, I'm not a commissioner anymore, but my fellow Haitian residents or African American residents to feel like, I want to make sure they're not getting that impression, right? And they're not. Thank God. But how would I know that? You've got to be honest with me, because I need to explain. If this is what you think, please give me the time to explain what's going on to you, for you. So that's been really hard too. It's really important for me not to have that happen. Obviously.
Yeah. No, but I think
it's an amazing program.
So one of the residents, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. He's really hard to say. Very tall guy. Kazan.
Kazan
Yeah,
Mubarak.
Kazan was amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, he sent an email out to everybody just saying like how you had supported all of these commissioners in their election
Right.
and that you had endorsed them, you had encouraged them and all kinds of things.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, there's no reason why you wanted, to do anything to them unless they were, unless they were.
Right. Like, they were using this against me, yet Kazan was pointing out in all the years that I've been around, I supported Haitian Americans. I supported, well, yeah, because unfortunately we've had no African Americans run for office. So, but I've supported them, these candidates, and not the white Jewish candidates. So how can you sit there and say anything, to me about this? So he was really
Exactly.
very supportive. I met with the NAACP. I mean, guys, I can go on and on and on. What I've gone through in just the last 2 years has been nothing short of crazy.
I know, I see it.
Right.
Totally.
No,
Uh-huh.
this is why we need to make sure we keep Barbara in the loop of what we do on the show, because she can go on and on and on, and we need her to. So we need to bring her back. At this point in time, we just need to have her pull up a chair and have it be 4 on this panel. But
I would
no,
love to. If I
no,
could keep up with what you guys talk about, that's the thing. I'm so focused on local that I've not really expanded. Like Lynn helps me, and even Stephanie, to expand and see what's going on at all other levels. But I'm such a people person that the closest you can be to the people is a city, elected official. So.
Mhm.
well, no, we keep it local, and I mean, we'll branch out
Well,
here
she
and there,
means
but
like local, not
no,
like
to like
Florida
no,
local.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Right.
get what she's saying,
Yeah.
but no, but I mean, there's so much juice going on in North Miami. I kind of
Right.
want to stay
Yeah.
local there for a while in North
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
We'll probably constantly check back in and see how things are going, and if people are waking up.
Absolutely. And
As long as
definitely
you're not
have.
staying woke, but just waking
Right.
up.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And without saying that, because then people will take that for a whole nother meaning.
well, yep,
But
there'll be a whole other can of worms.
right. But definitely we got to get Stephanie on the show for sure.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
great.
yes. I'm counting on you for that.
I know. I'm pushing her.
I
I
would
don't know
love
what
to have
she's
her.
saying. Yeah, she's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll get her on. We'll definitely get her on.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All
Oh,
right.
you're
Thank you for coming
welcome.
on again. We love having you
It's
here.
always my pleasure, and I love talking to you guys. There's nothing better than doing what's right for the people in our communities, and
Mhm.
just have faith. You guys will get where you want to be soon enough.
And when we
Okay,
get there,
so
we'll definitely
you're
bring
on
you back.
Facebook as Barbara Manus Kramer.
Barbara Manus Kramer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, friend me on Facebook. You'll see all my crazy on there. I'm very.
You're crazy.
I write as much as I talk, like I told you. Yeah, look
I'm
for me
gonna-
so we can friend each other. I'm like really old fashioned. I'm like Facebook. I'm not really. I got to get into Twitter. I think I talk too much for Twitter. I text.
I'm gonna Facebook. I'm gonna friend request you. I'm old school too, so I'm gonna friend request you there. We
Oh,
keep
okay.
Wait, can you spell it?
with all the
I'm
dirt.
going to
My
friend
name?
you right now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about to
and
send it right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
oh
Well, I'm
wait,
on
what
my
are we
phone,
doing?
but there's
Okay,
a
good.
link
We'll
for
put
me.
we'll put a link for Barbara's Facebook page in our description.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. So if you're if you're interested in creating a wake up chapter in your city, like reach out to her and see how she did it, and like I'm sure she'd be happy to guide you to create one yourself. So
Absolutely. All you need is a whole lot of passion, a whole lot of integrity, and a whole lot of will and
oh
patience.
All
yeah.
right. I just friended you so you can accept me when you get a
Yeah,
chance.
me
Okay,
too.
would
Yeah,
love to.
yeah. Don't leave me in that like waiting things for too long. I get hurt feelings. But
No.
she still hasn't accepted me. Just kidding.
It took a while for her to get mine in too. So
Oh, stop.
All right, Mo.
okay.
No, listen, Barbara, it is always a pleasure to have you on. I love your
Thank
energy, I
you.
love your passion, and I love the fact that you're continuing to do this after the fact. Like, so this shows that you never did your run in politics for anything but for the people. So
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the voice of the people, no matter, if I'm in City Hall or outside of City Hall.
yeah, that's right. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Exactly. Whatever you need, I'm there.
Well, thank you so much. And again,
Thank you.
if you like our content, our viewers that are watching, please continue to not only watch, but make sure you're smashing the subscribe button. Make sure that you are following us. Make sure you're liking us on either YouTube or on Facebook. So until the next time, and until the next time we bring Barbara Kramer back on, America, you have a great night. North Miami Beach, wake up. So
Good night. Thank you so
Good
much.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks for watching Political Pulse Live. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment about today's show. A special thanks to Barbara Kramer for joining us on this show and for being a great community leader.